Love Story.
Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the Love Talk Show, where you can learn the intelligent love. I'm James, and I have here by my side this very special couple, Pastor Dan and Mrs. Dan. Dan and Dan, right?
Dani, yeah.
Great. So let's go. Flash question. Shad, prepare the camera so we can switch. Flash questions, flash answers, please. Okay. Who fell in love first?
Myself.
Wow, I'm starting to like that. Really objective. Who's more jealous?
Herself.
Who's more romantic?
He's.
Really?
Yes.
Can you see that we are getting some gems here? Look at that. Who takes longer getting ready to leave the house?
Herself.
Is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It took long to get a confirmation, but okay. Who eats more?
With more? Both.
Yeah. Who drives better?
Him.
Who's more funny?
Herself.
No, you.
So that was a joke. So
Both,
he's the
both,
funny
both.
one. Okay. Who takes longer to shower?
Herself.
And who gets stressed easier?
Myself.
Okay, that was a confession also.
Yeah.
Who's more forgetful?
Myself.
Who's more clumsy? Desajeitado,
Mm,
desastrado.
Myself.
Who likes to sleep more?
Myself.
And who expenses more?
Well, we don't have this problem.
But someone has to expense, right?
Myself.
Yeah?
Could be myself.
Okay. Can you see? Humbleness. Women, learn this lesson, okay? Be humble. Let's go. Who likes to go out more?
Myself.
Oh,
No,
really?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
No, he likes. All
Yeah.
the
I
time. Yeah, he likes.
And who's more organized?
Myself.
Herself.
Really?
Yeah, myself.
Oh, you, of
Yeah.
course,
Herself.
of course. But we had already a discussion about organization here another day, and we came to a conclusion that organization is something that can change because you may be more organized with the house things and maybe with more things, but maybe you are more organized with certain things of your life. For example, in my computer, I'm really organized. With my desktop, my folders, and everything. Karina, she's listening to me, so she knows. You know that, right, Karina? Her computer is a mess. You open her computer, it's like a bomb exploded. You see files all around.
In our case, my computer is a mess and her computer is...
So
Organized.
indeed, she's more organized. Yes, because usually men they get this one. But okay, so Pastor Dan and Mrs. Dani, you've been married for 17 years.
17
And
years,
how
yeah.
long altogether since you?
plus 3 years of dating.
So
you know?
20 years, 2 decades.
Around, yeah.
Look at that. Okay, so you're saying that you fell in love first.
I found
But before we enter in this part, because of course for you to take actions and start, doing what you will tell us what you did, where you came from, Pastor Dan. What was the reference of love? What was your vision, especially to your love life before?
Yeah, I came from a family. My parents, my father used to be very serious, rigorous in this case. But in relation to their relationship, my father used to be addicted to alcohol. Then, because of that, he was aggressive sometimes. And my mother, she didn't have any wisdom how to deal with the situation. In spite of when she came to the church, she was learning, but even though the situation was very difficult to handle. And I came from this background, seeing my father being aggressive, rigid, rigorous. And in my mind, my mother always used to say to me, you have to deal with women in a different way. You have to be patient. You have to be careful with your words. In other words, she didn't want me to follow my father's example.
Yes. Yeah. Which was a good thing, by the way, right?
Mhm.
So you grew up with this.
I grew up with this.
So you
root,
had
like,
this
with my
bad example from your father, but you had this kind of backup from your
Mhm.
mom saying, "Please don't act like your father."
The good side of my father, he was faithful. And
Mhm.
I remember once I demanded this from him because of his...
You?
I demanded from him because I saw him being rude with my mother, and I asked him, I demanded from him that there is something wrong. Do you have another? You don't like my mother. You don't like her because why are you treating her like this? And he said, I was faithful, and I will be faithful to your mother.
Mhm.
But he was not realizing why
Mhm.
he was behaving like this.
And do you believe that somehow, somewhat, this kind of environment influenced you, to in your marriage? I know you're jumping already to marriage, but
Mhm.
we're gonna go back, of course.
Mhm.
Do you believe that somehow this, kind of environment, this example, this reference you had from your father, influenced you? I'm not saying that you were aggressive towards your wife, but
Mhm.
perhaps not physically, but perhaps a bit harsh with the words.
Mhm.
Somehow.
I remember that I tried to impose my opinions sometimes, for example, because my father was strict.
Mhm.
With him, there was no conversation,
Only his way.
only his way. And in my case, in certain time, I tried to impose my opinion.
So that was a bit of your
Was
father.
the root, like the root
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
carry upon.
And this is really serious because sometimes people they act in certain ways that they don't understand. How many times we have already opportunity to advise couples that they came from a broken family, which is not completely your case, but they came from a problematic households, and they promise themselves, look, I will never act like my father, I will never act like my mother. And later on, they see themselves doing exactly the same things.
Is rooted in
Exactly,
the person.
exactly. That's a root. And what about you, Mrs. Dani? How was your background, where you came from?
Yes, was just myself and my mom because I lost my dad early,
Mm-hmm.
and I until today I have a strong relationship, a strong. I am so close to my mom until
Mhm.
today, and we are friendly. We have this strong relationship between, and I learned that in my family, I need to build this friendship. We need
Mhm.
to believe each other. We need to sacrifice
Mhm.
between us. No, and was difficult for me to left her behind. Was very difficult in that time, but I believe that uh, I learned this that for to build a family, we need to have this strong friendship relationship. We need to believe each other. We need to sacrifice for each other because I saw this on her, no,
Mhm.
and we are very close to today. But she she has passed to me that the value of the sacrifice,
Mhm.
no. She was very attentive of my needs, of my education, and to have a, a
You were a
beautiful
single
family.
child.
Yes, I am the only child.
Mhm.
Yes, and yes, I try to brought this to
Mhm.
my marriage, and yes, I think this is a blessing too
Of
for
course it
us.
is. Of course it
Yes.
is. So, before we get to the part where you study, dating, or you get to know each other, it's important to mention that when you start, dating, or or you said you fell in love first, so you had the initiative, right? How was that, Pastor Dan?
It was amazing.
You want to speak and feel free.
Was
Yes.
very nice.
Yeah.
No, you can.
When I saw her, I
Mm.
said, no, this one is this one.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't like me in the first time.
I knew this before through our friends, no?
Okay.
Because
Boyfriends, yeah.
yes, a friend of ours
You know,
said,
that's
Wasn't
classical
common.
scenario.
the,
Everybody knows.
a friend of ours said in the first time he said it will be her,
Uh-huh.
but it was not easy, no?
Okay, but no. We have to get a bit deeper than that. So, let's give some scenarios. So you start in your faith, both of you.
Hmm.
So by the time you were dating, you were already assistant.
Yeah, she was assistant first,
Okay.
and I was preparing myself to become an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very serious. She was very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that she was, to treat others, she was very young, but the confidence that she passed to others that attracted me.
Mm-hmm.
The seriousness, the respect that she had to what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I never said to her that I liked her, but I
Liked her in secret.
I was in secret, yeah. Because I was preparing myself to do the works. No?
You had this vision.
I had
too.
the vision, yeah.
So you have this objective. I want you to serve
I
God
want
on
to
the
do the
altar.
works, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was very straightforward in my case. I was raised, but in between, I was building up a friendship because we became friends,
Mm-hmm.
and we start to be involved to do the activities of the works together, to evangelize together. And in our case, I was. One of the things that caught my attention.
Sorry, when he was calling you to evangelize together, have you noticed?
Was
you know,
not a
some...
second. It was not.
No. Let me ask her.
Was not with double intention.
Okay. No. Okay. I will try to believe. I will try hard to believe. But when he called you to go, let's go evangelize and do this. Did you notice something? You know, there. You know, different look, different. You know.
Yes, I said to him, but have you spoke to pastor about this?
Everybody
know.
realized.
I knew it.
Do you know about this? That pastor knows
I was the
about
VYG.
this?
I was the VYG leader of my church, and she was the CBC leader. Then
Okay.
that's one situation. VYG night video.
Mm-hmm.
I invited her to come. Can you come to the VYG night video? But you have to come to pastor. You have to tell
Pastor
pastor.
need to know about this.
Then I was pastor and she can come. Well, she doesn't have nothing to do to.
Dear friends, you know, when I tell you about night videos, you must believe me. Night videos is a blessing. It's a blessing. You know, was it exactly in the night video that I met Karina? It was in the night. So everything started in the night video. So you invited her to come to attend the night video. The night videos. Can you see if you miss night videos?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. For you.
Events and activities in the church.
Yes, exactly.
Then was like a night video. The pastor said, "No, why she has to go? No, you have to. No, she doesn't go," and she wanted to go.
Yeah.
But come on, Mrs. Dani, you really want to go to the night video?
No, I like it to take part of everything that he
Okay,
was
okay.
responsible for.
But come on,
responsible to do.
look, you know, women has that, you know, sixth sense, right? So by this time that he was, you know, asking you to go to evangelize with him and attend night video.
Yes, I didn't have in that moment.
This idea,
This
idea to
idea
involve
that,
to
yeah.
invest in her love life because she was very young.
I was very young, and my focus was not in my love life.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have other priorities in that time.
But she accepted.
But the time start to passing by,
Mm-hmm.
and I start to know each other, was very, very nice. And yes,
Yeah.
we start to talk. And I remember after we take the decision to have a
Relationship.
I remember I said to the pastor, this pastor was not there anymore, but I said, Pastor, we started to have a relationship. The pastor said, yes, I knew
before.
I knew
before you
already.
guys.
I knew it.
I knew this is the beginning.
This was
So
not.
you thought was a
hidden from me.
secret, but everybody
knew.
Yeah. Okay. So, but how was that? You declared yourself. You said, "Look, I like you," or
Then
something.
time passed by. I was raised as an auxiliary.
But
Yeah.
in this time, I was to start to feel something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you see it?
But- I
Love
didn't know.
Talk Show is a revelation.
But I
After
remember,
17 years.
I remember when he told me, I'm going to do the work of God.
Okay.
I was happy, but I said, oh, I
And what
lost.
about you? Did you like him?
I started to think,
Or actually, did you have this vision also? The same objective?
I feel like, oh, I don't know, but I can lose him, no?
Mhm.
Because he will go and never will come back.
Yeah.
But she always has been the assistant that has the. She always had the. How's the name? The characters from the altar.
Mm-hmm.
I knew already,
Mm-hmm.
and she had the
Yes, I have the desire.
the
So
desire.
this is important, Pastor Dan, because though you liked her, and of course, when you start liking someone, it's important to be clear. When you start liking someone, you know the first what triggers that feeling is not necessarily because you saw the Holy Spirit roaring upon her. It's not because you saw something extraordinary. I believe when you start liking someone, the one of the first attractions is the physical attraction. Appearance wise, right? But there are people that for them that's it. They look,
It's all that they look.
their eyes are satisfied. Okay, that's it.
Mm.
That's the person I want, and they don't consider nothing else.
Mhm.
So you consider that also.
Of
You
course.
could-
I remember even one of my friends asked me, do you like someone? Yes, I like. And how is she? And he asked me, asking this, if she committed, is she serious, is she a woman of God? And I replied to him, "Yes, she's very pretty, she's very nice, she's very beautiful. But this is not what I'm asking to.
yeah.
I'm not asking this. I'm asking if she's serious, if she's dedicated." Then that one was
Open your eyes.
open my eyes. But I always has observing the spiritual side of her.
Okay. So, and when he started asking you to go out and evangelize with him, attend night videos with him, so you start also developing some feelings towards him.
Yes.
And okay, but who took the initiative to? Okay,
Myself.
of
yeah.
course, of
Myself.
course. Pastor Dan, it's important for you to tell that because we have
Some guys are waiting for
you know
something
it.
happen.
You know it because sometimes there are men that for some reason they are waiting that their so-called blessing will come from an angel. I don't know. It may be with the Amazon generation.
The new Amazon.
Yeah,
drone.
they will order via Amazon. Come on, they have to take some action. So share with
They
us.
want to have if it's a sign. If that girl comes to me, will be a sign that is from God.
Look,
And
it's sad, but it was funny
It's
if
a
it wasn't
reality,
sad.
isn't it?
Someone came to us not long ago, and she said, "Look, she came to speak to Karina. Look, I've been liking someone for a couple of months, and I've been praying upon it and praying all these months, and now I wanted to to ask for your help if you could help me to approach the guy and blah blah blah." And when Karina spoke to me and said, "Come on, but for months." Yeah, okay, let us. But it was a long time, and I spoke to the guy. I knew the guy, and I spoke to him. Look, would you be okay to start talking to someone that we know, someone that apparently could be a good match? And he said, "Look, Pastor, thank you very much, first of all, but I just made a commitment to somebody else 2 days ago."
wow.
So look at that. People that they wait.
They
Man,
wait. When the blessing comes, they lost the opportunity.
Wait. So share with us, Pastor Dan, how did you do that? How did you make the approach? How was it? Do you remember that?
I remember.
Do you remember when he did it?
Yes, of course.
So how was that, Pastor Dan?
I came straight and said and asked, "What do you think? You want to date with me?" I like you.
Just like that?
Yeah.
No, come on, come on. I want to hear from you, Mrs. Dani. Sometimes we men we miss some details.
Yes, because
Was it straight,
we knew
Dani?
each other. Yes,
Oh, I
we knew
knew.
already each other, and he was straight the point. And
So
we
actually, you
knew
were
already
waiting
that
for
would be
that.
She was waiting, yes.
What was that? Was you like, oh come on, you're taking so long
no,
to
let
ask
me
that?
remember. I
No.
said,
Okay.
hello, how are you? Blah, blah. How is your day? And she realized that
And by this time, you didn't call her to
This
go to
topic is-
evangelize this time.
he's coming a different way. What is this?
There is no newspapers
I
in
was
his hands this
I was
time.
waited for this.
She was
Were you waiting for that?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Then when I asked, she
was
was
not-
quickly, yeah.
It was
Okay.
very
Was a
nice.
quick yes.
Yes,
Yes.
quick yes.
So nice. And how long you dated? You dated?
We have been
For?
dating for 3 years.
For 3 years you dated.
3 years,
Yes.
yeah.
And when you were sure, when you know after, this is also important. During these years you were dating, it was a long time, by the way.
Mhm.
But what you were looking for in these 3 years, because we know that the intelligent love will also lead me to have a different vision about love. It's not
Mhm.
like the intelligent love will not make me to start dating to someone only, to have a good time, to have
Mhm.
someone to go out, to go to the films or whatever.
Following our feelings, if I feel
Exactly.
if I
To
love,
feel,
if I
to
like.
fill a gap.
Mm.
It's not that. Those who have the intelligent love, they have this different vision. They date with a purpose.
Mhm.
To get to know the person, to be sure, is that the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with?
Mhm.
So what made you sure about her? What made you sure when you said, okay, that's it, she's the one, I'm gonna marry this woman and I will make her my wife?
Yeah. And now is in the case that you're saying, we had the purpose to get married. Then in the time that we were dating, what we have to do, we start to trying to know each other as much as we could to learn it from each other.
And sorry, and how was that learning process? Have you spoken to her family? How was that, asking people around, observing her reactions?
I had advice from my pastors. And my pastors advised me, and each step we were learning from each other. We were very young, and we committed like silly mistakes. For miscommunication, for example, and by my side, miscommunication. And this is very important. How many guys in the dating process, they don't communicate properly.
Yeah.
For example, men, we tend to assume that she will understand everything. She will realize or know everything that we know already.
Mm-hmm.
Then sometimes I was like, I didn't say properly what I want, what I intend to do, and I was expecting that she will understand my idea,
Okay.
and for miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
And
Assumptions. You say something, assuming that she would understand that.
Mhm. And the good thing is we start to learn how to speak.
Mhm.
Look, I committed this mistake, you committed this mistake, let's fix this, let's learn from each other, from our mistakes.
Mhm.
And the process each year was very important. Even though each year, for example, we never expected to last 3 years.
Yeah.
When we start to date, our idea was next year we
Gonna
get
get-
married.
Mhm.
But was very important, each step
Was good.
was
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we learned from each other.
Mhm.
And when we had the opportunity to get married, now the authorities at that time asked us, what do you think? Are you sure?
Mhm.
Yes, I'm sure. I have no doubts,
Mhm.
because she was confident.
Mhm.
She was confident about her decision. Because
And were you sure about it as well?
Yes, because we had the time, to see, to think,
Mm-hmm.
and to be sure about. Yes, I was, and how can I say? No doubts that I
Mhm.
want to take this next step to
Mhm.
in my
because
life.
the way that I said, she was confident. Confident of what? Confident of leave everything behind and join me in the works, in my work. That was the work of God. Then this is what we expect to see in our, for example, in
So
my
the
girlfriend.
objectives, they were aligned.
The same
Yeah.
objective, yes.
That's also really important.
If she was looking at the same direction, there was.
Because imagine now, the disaster if she would met all the other requirements, ticking all the boxes, but this specific one, she was not, sure about it. That would be bad for both of you, right? Because that would be the case that, okay, though we had the feeling you really liked each other, but you will be carrying this frustration for the rest of your life because you will be doing something that you didn't want, or on your side you would renounce something that you would love to be doing, right? So this is also very important, to be aligned in what
Aligned
you
the
want.
same direction,
Yeah.
looking the same direction, yes.
Okay, and we know that the wedding day is amazing. It's the party, family, the emotion, the thrill. But as BB King says, once when the thrill is gone, you have to.
The reality comes.
The reality comes,
reality
and
check.
you have to face, the day-to-day life. So how was that? Because though you said you dated for 3 years, so you were supposed to be fine-tuned, but what was if you had, some issues in the beginning, how was that?
We dated 3 years, and we got our dates to get married in 3 months.
Okay.
Then
2 months.
2 months?
2 months. Yeah.
2 months, like very quickly then. In 2 months you get married. And when we got married, I said, opa, now I am married. And when I realized I was married,
But that's always a surprise, even if you prepare yourself 1 year,
you are expecting
because
too much.
the change is like that. You in hours before you were single, and now you are married. You have to live with someone. Of course, is that special person, but now it's also
I remember that
I
the
think
judge,
for the man is more, I think, feel
is more convenient.
the responsibility.
the
I think,
responsibility, when I felt the responsibility now,
Oh yeah.
because her mother used to give everything to her, provide everything to her. And when I realized that now I
And this
am
was
the
one
provider.
of the advice that she gave to you.
Ah,
isn't
my,
it?
my mother-in-law, she said
Really?
yeah, when we announced that we get married, she said, Pastor,
I respect
Dani,
you.
yeah,
respect
I
you.
respect you, but yeah, make sure that you will provide to her everything that I provide. I am a good provider. Then you have to do your job.
So you felt the pressure, right?
I felt the pressure. No worries about that. I want to get married before. When I got married, I said,
You felt
the
the pressure.
penny
And
drop.
now.
Yeah,
And now.
that was very the pressure that you feel, that the responsibility that you have to fulfill
Yeah.
is not easy in the beginning. And right after we got married, 6 months after we moved country, we moved abroad, Brazil. We went to another country, another language, culture, everything. And the most difficult part, we were alone by ourselves. I was in the works some years, but she,
For you, okay, moving, abroad is a big thing. But you were already kind of used to the
I
life.
was used to, yeah, but abroad is
I know, but
young.
when what I mean is that you were living by yourself, so you're used to that kind of life,
I was used
moving
to,
here
yeah.
and there. Okay, moving abroad is another story, completely different. But I can imagine that for you, Mrs.
Yes.
Dani, that was harder than.
Was very hard. When I arrived there, I said what I did.
Sorry, where you moved? You moved from Brazil
From Brazil to Argentina.
to Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a total different, totally different
two different
culture.
worlds. Yeah.
When
Language,
when
everything.
I arrived there, I said my days, what I did. I
But of course,
start.
you already speaking Spanish, right?
No,
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 everything was
no,
new,
nothing.
you had to learn
nothing.
the language there
We are in the process of the adaptation between us, and to now one more thing that we need
to adapt to the
to
country
Adapt.
adapt
now.
to the
Yeah,
country.
even though it's countries like neighbor countries, but it's totally different. The Argentinians they
Yes.
don't they
Yeah.
don't speak Portuguese and don't like to speak Portuguese. Then we have to learn how to speak the language and adapt to the culture as well.
I think for me was very more difficult for
More
me than
difficult for
for
her.
him. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I start to feel a lot. I missed my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I start and this I could not deal with this. I brought this for
To the
relationship.
relationship.
Yes, because many thoughts, many feelings. I start to feel desperate, like I will never will see my mom.
Again.
Wow.
And now, this was about my decision. I start to
Mm-hmm.
feel guilt because it was the time for me to take care of her, and I
Mm-hmm.
took this decision. Now,
And,
what
and, and
kind
and
of
how did you, because these you're speaking about certain insecurities,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how did you overcome these insecurities?
yes, it's very very important to say that I receive all the support of him.
Okay.
He never condemned me in that time. He
Mm-hmm.
never put finger or put more burden on
Mm-hmm.
me. But all the time he gave me the support that I needed,
Okay.
and to tell let's use our faith. God can help us, and because he knew that was to left their family behind for five
Mm-hmm.
years, no, and for I think it's important that when one of us starts to pass for battles, the battle is not for only one, but
Yeah.
it's for both,
Yeah.
no.
So
And
from the
he
very beginning of your marriage, you already
even though
understood that.
Yeah.
even though it was 6 months, but he was very mature,
Mm-hmm.
and he took the fight, my fight.
Okay.
Your fight is our fight,
Yeah.
and it was very very important his support in this time.
Always used to say to her, "This is a phase. You will
Yes, I remember
overcome this
this.
situation.
Yes.
You overcome. You will get used to. You will learn how to live by yourself, to live between ourselves, and you overcome this."
And this
Mhm.
helped us, isn't it, to
And a good
build.
thing of my
uh,
mother-in-law is that she used to say to her, "Calm down, I will be okay." In other words, my mother-in-law never put pressure, never was demanding from her.
Mm-hmm.
It was something natural.
At least she was doing the right thing, because
Mhm.
unfortunately there are some certain modern mothers-in-law that they have a different reaction,
Mm-hmm.
and in the hope that they are trying to help, they are actually causing more problems. Imagine if your mom, by this time, she would be there saying, "Oh, come on, daughter, you left me
Come back,
alone.
blah blah blah.
Please come. I'm feeling so alone." So that was really important for you because thank God you found this support coming from your mom and also coming from him.
from him was the most.
Hmm.
And yes, he had this maturity and helped me a lot in that time.
So we have already here, a very important lesson. When couples they are facing situations, adversities, the respect is it's always really important because in situations like that, sometimes there are husbands that they're a bit judgmental, not understanding exactly, and perhaps because you are not living that, you think, oh, she's just weak, oh, she's not prepared, and instead of helping, you end up doing the opposite thing. But what you have to understand is that, my dear friend, if you are doing that, I'm sorry to say, but you're not being intelligent. You are intelligent, but you're not using your intelligence because you are hurting yourself. You are delaying your own life. So at least you, Pastor, then you had this understanding. Okay, let me help her, let me support her. So you didn't judge her, you didn't call her, oh, you are weak, oh, you are not in the faith, oh, there is something wrong with you, or using those words, oh, I've made a mistake, marrying you. So these things, they never.
I remember that we used to no, let's go together. Let's go. Like motivate her, showing that she will overcome that situation, overcome that phase.
Really good. And I believe situations like that, you can speak by yourself, but situations like that, usually when couples they do the right thing as you did, that will help you to, to be even stronger, to be even closer, to make your marriage solid, right? How was that experience for you there, living in, far away from your family back in Argentina? And and do you remember, especially you, Miss Dani, how do you overcame these insecurities, and how was that for you when you finally got over these things?
Yes, I was God. We need to say this, that was our faith that changed it completely. And yes, when God comes and reveals to us, everything changed. I remember one day God spoke strongly, I call it to you. And be fine. Your mom is in my hand. I will take control of her. What she needs is to have God by her side. You can be there, but inside she needs me, not you. It's everything that need to change is inside every day. You can be there to support her, but what she's in need is my presence. And be fine, be okay, and move forward. Do what I called you to do. And yes, this helped us to have a stronger relationship, our marriage. And after that, other battles came. And yeah, our relationship, our how can I say, the strong relationship between us help
Connection.
The
us to
bond,
overcome,
no?
connect,
Yeah.
yes, help us to overcome other battles.
So, how long have you stayed there in Argentina?
There was 9 years.
9 years. And after that,
We came to
you
UK.
came to UK. Was a different
And
experience.
then we start again.
But
We got married again.
Yeah.
We
But
then when we came here,
go ahead.
we came. Then a different challenge. We were
But
talking.
at least when you came to England, you already spoke in English, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then we start again, and we were talking before the program and thinking about how can we help someone, and it's very important the listeners, the watchers to understand that the marriage is like phases, no? Levels. As time passes by, you are knowing each other, you are growing together, but new situations will come, new challenges will appear, né? And we have to remember the first, the very beginning, the foundation, and do the same that we did there in the past that worked, and continue to do until you find a solution and overcome the situation.
That's the secret, to bring God to your battle. Pastor Dan and Mrs. Dani, thank you very much for joining us tonight. May God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.